Justin Baby Dolls, a new NineIronCapital thread has just dropped. Remember, if you are following the pDAI story, I'm doing an update. Why? I like it. I like it a lot. So this is the pDAI price update. What I'm going to do now, we're going to go through NineIronCapital's thread that is just released. And before we even look at these friends, remember there's something happening, okay? I call them the PulseChain Pioneers. And there's something big happening here. You see all these protocols. Just have a focus on the top. You have DAI at the heart, right? You have Curve, Aave, BadgerDAO, Balancer, Compound, and more things happening. You have these pegs here. Definitely not Richard Hart, right? Wink, wink. Definitely not Richard Hart. But play some angel music for everyone out there because you're seeing, look, friends, look, you're seeing this city being built, man. Okay? We're seeing this city being built. We're seeing like these tall buildings being erected. We're seeing these cranes. There are these anonymous wallets that have been only doing things that expand the city, that fix the city. That's what they've been doing for 2 years. That's why the discrepancy with pDAI right now, it is controversial. And basically, a lot of people, will think that, okay, for example, Eric Wall, interesting approach to it. He goes, well, maybe it started with good intentions, but now it's definitely bonked. Other people believe it's been bonked from day one. It's very hard to argue against, come on, man. We minted pDAI on May 11th, 2023. So let's go through NineIronCapitals. It makes you wonder why this wallet is, I'll be honest, it's rumored pioneer leader Richard Hart, okay? It's rumored that wallet for very, very reasons. I forgot, does it have a lot of points or something? Maybe the starting number, it is what it is, okay? It has to make you wonder why the 5996 wallet would burn its pDAI in PulseChain Maker's PEG stability module for pUSDC and then sell this pUSDC for pDAI, getting less pDAI back. Why not just sell the pDAI instead? This has actually been happening for 2 days. Let's actually go through, friends. Very interesting. Some actions happening. So once again, friends, okay, look, I'm gonna have to nibble pegs out once again, okay? I don't care how many times you're gonna have to hear this. Something is happening, okay, friends? Something's happening. And the example I use is you've walked into Coexistence Steven's backyard, and there are 6 dudes in the back, and they're building a renovated wall, okay? They're laying the concrete. There's a plumber there, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, man, you could be scamming him right now. You could be. That's what we're seeing, friends. We're seeing these pioneers, these renovators. They're fixing up the chain. They're doing stuff here. I don't want to use the word fixing. It's interpretive, right? And you're looking at him, you're like, bro, you've been here for 2 years. Maybe you're actually just fixing stuff. That's my interpretation. I'm looking at that. Other people are looking at it and they think, nah, they could be bandits. There could be people, maybe Stevie's not home, they've raided his house, and instead of this is the interesting part, right? So instead of, friends, remember when you come and you raid someone's house, if you're a bandit, most likely, in most times, what you'll do is you'll break the walls, okay? You'll flip the bed upside down, you'll go to his vault, you know what I mean? You'll steal his oranges, maybe his fruit bowl, and you run. You take the money, you run. You break things, you just run away, you're never coming back. But we're not seeing that, man. We're seeing, man, I've shown you all the pioneers. The stuff that they're doing on the chain, friends, it's all connecting stuff. Once again, look at the peg here, man. I've got to show it to you time and time again. This, that's what I'm looking at, man. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, what, Habib? You're looking at this, saying, yeah, totally random, totally random. We just pegged pUSDC to pDAI. Okay, man. Free world, free world. I don't think so, though. I'm like, that. I don't think that's random, dude. I don't think someone, especially a Vietnamese kid with a big fat dong, Scam Long Dong, I don't think Scam Long Dong is coming here and thinking, hey, it'd be really cool. Whilst I steal from PulseChain community, let me go and let me blow their minds and do this peg thing and let me show them some cool tricks. See what I mean? So let's continue. Okay, so 99 continues. pDAI haters will argue it is to create more headroom between the depth ceiling and pDAI supply so that more can be minted. But we disagree. The PEG stability module assumes one pDAI is one pUSDC, just the peg I showed you, right? So it is considered an asset in the VAT. This is why lowering the PEG stability module increases pMaker's deficit. So this is a chart here, okay? And he continues again. PulseChain Maker believes that there are currently 1 billion too many pDAI in circulation. Interestingly, if the peg stability module is taken to 0, the deficit will rise to 4.4 billion pDAI. It's important to note that no new pDAI needs to come out of the VAT to achieve this. PSM is the 2199 wallet, and here we have a nice screenshot. So, this is the thing, is it gets technical, man. Up and down and left and right. You get one thing wrong, it's pretty much over, okay? I'm looking at this and I'm like diving into it. I'm like, okay, if just 5% of this is true, like whoever's operating, I call them the PulseChain Pioneers, okay? Whoever's operating, they want a peg, yeah? They're yearning for the peg. They're building for a peg, okay? Now, people will come here, friends, I'm going to bring Spoonie out. They'll come here and they'll say, where's the collateral money going to come from? How's it going to happen? All right, man, like, when I hear that question, okay, you're asking me, let's say I'm a Hex OG. Let's say I was in Hex first cycle. You're asking me, you're looking at this chart, okay, and like we just had the origin address, big payday thing, drop 84%. Like you're pretty much, you're looking at Hex here, and you're asking me, hey, Somi, how's Hex going to do at 10,000X? Where's the 50-cent Hex price going to come from? Where are those hundreds of millions of dollars going to come from? And I'm showing you here, and I don't know, bro. I don't know. And you might say to me, you're stupid. Okay, dude, call me whatever you want. I don't know. I'm holding, though. I'm holding because I want to, and I can. That's it. And by the way, what would eventually come to happen was that no one would guess, okay, you would have, right here, you would have the PulseChain sacrifice, all right? And then you would have a PulseX sacrifice, you'd have Richard Hart streaming, and you would have Richard Hart selling the top of Ethereum and rotating money. He had no idea that was coming, by the way. No idea that was coming November 2020. Zero. You just had to, literally just had to believe. I guess it was just a matter of faith. I wonder if that rings true very similarly to what's going on now.
Bizarre objects in the universe.
Mr. NineIronCapital continues. While many believe the floppy willy auctions will never happen and there is an infinite loop under the way, this is not only the possible conclusion. For the past few weeks, PulseChain Maker's VAT has been restructured into available supply. The peg stability module is to be restructured next. Just an observation. So I'm looking at this. I know it's tough, man. You're technical. Like I focus on this word restructure. Doesn't it bring into your mind like, oh, restructure? Like if this Vietnamese kid, friends, if he was walking around with a big fat hammer and he just wanted to like break all the walls, I don't think we would have people reporting on chain the word restructure. You know what I mean, my friends? Like, if a thief came in, let's say you've got a lot of like, let's say you got apples and bananas in your fruit bowl. There's a thief outside. They want to steal it. They broke into your home. I don't think when the cops come in the next day and they go, oh my gosh, this Vietnamese kid who has allegedly stolen from your house has actually restructured your lounge room and your kitchen. You'd say, interesting choice of words, officer. You know, it doesn't happen, friends. Look, when you're using the word restructure and this stuff, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look at the words and try to just build a probability model in my head. It's just happening like naturally. I'm like, this is another case for this. Doesn't look like this thing's going to zero. Okay. I'm not saying $1. You could decide on a target. I'm just telling you that for me, to me right now, it's a matter of, are you going to zero or not? That's actually when you get the most capitulation. It's, are you going to zero or not? You know, maybe when we're higher, or if we're higher, okay, we don't know. Maybe one day in the future, pDAI is like 5 cents, and then people are like, okay, are you going to go to like 1 cent and die in a bear market, or are you going to go to $1? It's a different game up here, but you know, it's 500x to $1, so I'm going to pay attention. For those looking for some interesting reading, it's probably a good time to dive into the Curve V3 pools and look closely at the wallets using BadgerDAO. These wallets interacting look much more like a team than a lone wolf. Once again, friends, instead of this Vietnamese kid, we're like, please scam Long Dong, please. Your big fat hammer dong is literally wreaking havoc all over the city. So I'm not hearing that. I'm seeing team. That's why I use the word pioneers, friends. Remember, it's like Christopher Columbus venturing out to sea. You've got everybody on board. Like there's a team of stuff working, yeah. And look, of course, yeah, it may or may not be related to the founder of PulseChain, who obviously name visually wants to be disconnected from this because I've made it clear. But you got to make that decision for yourself. And by the way, the market will once I get the prices up. He even does a link here. Here is a link to the Curve V3 pools. pDAI to the $1. And then NFA. Nice friendship authorized. Okay. Thank you to Matt Yeater as well, friends. Matt, I don't know if you watch my videos, bro. Friends, Matt's actually blind. He's actually born blind. I think he's born blind. He's actually blind. I can't help but get the feeling that the developing technology... Okay, well, I just want to tell you something, friends. I wish I could screenshot it. Matt's long. And he literally joked to someone else. He goes, literally, I'm blind and I'm long. I forgot. Matt was replying to someone. I read it and then my Twitter refreshed. I'm like, no. Like, it was something. I'm like, I want to screenshot this. This is like one of the biggest, greatest Wojak ownings of all. Like, a blind dude is dunking on you on the internet, calling you a pussy. He literally said, bro, you're a pussy. I'm literally blind and I'm long. Look, don't feel peer pressured. These things can go to zero. But I'd feel like shit, personally. I'm like, man, a guy who's literally blind is literally dunking on me on the internet, calling me a pussy because I'm scared of red candles. Like maybe a group of individuals, but also a bot engaging with contracts. Either way, it's super cool. Thank you for your hard work. I see what you're saying and I agree with you. I think some clarity on the auction language would be helpful. The system has to be working in order for the auction to take place on the bad debt. So it makes sense that the restructuring of the pulse maker is the logical step. Mr. Moosey, resume the pegging. Mr. Hexmate, I'm wondering why the OA wallet is dumping their pDAI for pump tire tokens. So we wonder that too. Some people say it's clear, follow me, okay? Other people who are still long in the system, I'm still long. I believe it is a washing out, okay? And as well, it's also a leap of faith. You were to ask me, friends, if you were to put a water pistol to my head, you put the bubble gun to my head and you said, hey, what do you think is going on? I think he clicked sell with one wallet. I think he clicked buy with another wallet, okay? And I think it's net lower because people are just seeing one side. That's personally what I think. Where are we going to go from here? I don't know. I hope PulseChain keeps continuing. I still like this chart, man. I still like this chart. I like how there's updates over time. So when I go through these updates, I've explained it to you. I'm like, wow, another day where the probability that this thing goes to zero has like dropped. You know what I mean? Oh, so it's not going to die. Yeah, because that's what when people capitulate hard, okay, they're literally saying it's dead. So if you put your ears to the patient, you're like, oh my, there's a heartbeat, like you're the cheapest price. Yeah, that's why I said if this thing's 5 or 10 cents, now it's like, whoa, how much longer do we have in the bull? Can you even peg? Where's the collateral going to come? Totally different discussion, man. That's like 10 to 20x to $1. This now it's 500 if it works. Maximum uncertainty though. Like, subscribe, but no, catch you soon.